But one of the first things that I thought in my head that I wanted to ask you is, after Baba Ijesha was convicted, do you feel you owe Princess and others an apology for trying to discredit their position on that matter? Because it was a very, very sensitive topic, and because of who you are, do you think you owe them an apology for that?
Naturally, I don't think I owe an apology, because there was that misconception about what I was actually standing for. Okay. You know, human rights scorecard is very low in Nigeria. And I am of the opinion that we were all not raised with the basic ideas and the tenets of human rights. We were not raised to understand that when an issue is up, the key actors in any case deserves their rights to be protected. So when I noticed that the rights of the victim / complainant is being given to them, why should anybody feel sad or feel bad that I am agitating that the rights of the defendant should be also upheld? Any sane society will reason along that that is a just and right cause to fight for. But in Nigeria, we are raised with brutalities. Many parents abuse children, not just sexually. They trample on the rights. They don't want you to express yourself. And we have been made to believe that only victims have got the right to speak. And when they speak or when they lay their complaints, we should just ask the defendant. We don't want to hear, we don't want to balance the story, we are not raised with the truth. I like it all.
Yeah, but, you know, initially when the matter started, I understood that it's okay to allow for different perspectives. And it's okay for people to take sides. You know, you may have known this person longer, you've known some character traits, and you feel this may be just unjust for this person. Imagine if somebody brings an accusation here. I'm very sure the ladies will say, no, this is one of us, we know, you know. So that was okay. But then after the judgment, it still seemed like you were fighting the judgment. That was what I didn't now understand. Shouldn't you have at least soft pedaled? Because then the court has given a judgment. Yeah. And if you feel the judgment is wrong, you can now start with the process of appeal, than still speaking like somebody has done something wrong when the court has clearly said this is how the case goes. Okay,
I'll answer this by starting with the fact that I studied the Bible. And I know clearly that the Bible was not supporting rape when the Bible emphasized on the story of Potiphar and Joseph. Majority of people that think they know the truth, when they actually don't balance the story, they are hiding behind cost. And I am a very particularly careful human being. I have been fighting for the truth. And as we speak, you are women, you are parents. You studied and you went through this case for a year plus. Can you, in your honesty, I'm charging you to the court of conscience, how old is the girl? This is a lady that has features of an adult that was used to beat an adult. Can you, in your honesty, tell the world and your viewers, how old is this lady? Because the age is a focal point for the judgment. How old is she? Tell your audience.
So, from the question you just asked now, it seemed like, you know, when you started the show, you started, you know, I've been on your program where you were raising awareness for human rights and justice and fairness and all of that. And I feel that it was a good platform. It still is a good platform, and it's something we should talk about. Everybody should have their day in court. Nobody wants to be falsely accused. We've heard stories of somebody saying, I just didn't like him, and I said he raped me, and the person spent years in prison. So I believe that it's good. But where you just went to now, sir, I wish you did not go there. Because what the message, and we need to be careful of what we're saying.
You should answer my question before you.
There are several cases where you cannot. I have been I've been 6 feet since I was like 16, and I remembered clearly that a 32-year-old man was propositioning me consistently, priming you, and I was extremely, like, I did not even understand what was happening until. And it was lying to me about it until somebody told me that, do you know that this man is 30? So I said, that's twice my age. It's always in my head that somebody twice my age. And I was actually even harassed by him. So you will now say, because me, I'm a 16-year-old girl, And if you look at me,
tall,
and I was tall,
you had body, everything was complete.
As this. You would say that I am an adult, and I should know what was going on and what was... I did not know.
Okay, good.
I had no idea.
I think we need to really understand ourselves. Let's put gender card here.
Okay.
It's not gender.
The question she asked is, I look like I'm still not...
In support of the court's judgment, yes.
And I have responded. I have asked you a very salient question. And I respect you if you are an Abinger, if you support the truth and you want to be seen as somebody who likes fairness. The focal point for the judgment still lies around the age. And the law stipulates that if a minor is being molested, the onus is on the court to establish the age. So that even if the defender, the accused, does not know, ignorance is not an excuse.
So what's the age now?
I am asking you. You are the media. You are supposed to tell the public the truth. That's the truth they want to know because you are the face, you are the voice of the people. The court cannot ascertain. Don't forget, the girl in question gave different ages. That is established. I'm like, why would you be giving different ages? Okay, no problem. Now, the girl in the court, throughout, the things that are needed to establish the truth and the age of the girl under the law is, number one, birth certificate. If you don't provide the birth certificate, the law says the mother or an adult who was there when the child was birthed should testify before the court that I was there, this is her age. That was absent. Now, medical test to prove that if those ones are not there, all this, you were all silent about it. And you're not even talking about the fact that the life of the minor, if she is 14, is in danger to gather evidence. You need to also tell me where it is in the law in this country where you should endanger the life of a minor to gather evidence.
Wow.
Because when we look at the old stuff, it's quite appalling. When people think...
You know, can we, just so that we don't degenerate into something, I don't want this conversation to degenerate into something.
Degenerate. We're going to
just listen.
Civil.
Just listen. So, at the time that the baiting that you keep mentioning...
Not being mentioning, it was established in court.
Okay, established in court. There are also facts to show that he started this when she was much younger.
Which fact? Can you...
It was stated. It was in the papers. I read it. She gave her opinion in court. And it talked about when he came years before, when she was much younger than the age of this baiting that you're talking about. But I want you, you mentioned something about the court of conscience.
Yeah, there's a...
Yes, and I'm asking you to look at your conscience.
Okay.
Look into your conscience and say that the case as it ended was the wrong way that it ended or the right way that it ended. And the message that has been sent because of this case is a wrong message or the right message.
Okay, first and foremost, let me make this clear. My name is Yomi Fabiyi, and I'm an advocate of human rights. And I will continue to say to everybody listening to me, raping, molesting a child is a serious criminal offense. If you're caught, you will be punished, and you will be punished severely. Okay. However, we should also understand that we live in a society that we need to balance the truth. When Potiphar did it, I am very sure if I stand behind Joseph, the same conscience is what you're going to be swimming to. But the fact remains that we are in a society. Rule of law is sacrosanct. Yeah. And the moment I am beginning to see organized crime, premeditated crime, the first person that should protect the child, if truly she was a victim, is the mother. And I saw a situation whereby you claim the same victim used to see the man in TV, he shakes, he is traumatized. I expect continuity. When the ladies saw her, they asked in court, because majority were not speaking the truth. The media that were there, they were not feeding the public the truth. They asked the girl, you were said to be traumatized, which is acceptable. Children need to be protected. Now you saw your perpetrator. You lost the trauma. And then your mother, who you have told initially, who is aware already, the woman left you with him. You went to close the door. They asked her authoritatively, why? You didn't go to your room. You are not so irritated. You didn't go anywhere. Why did you go and sit beside him again?
I would like us to actually move on.
Yeah.
To where?
Move on from the debate. Because Grace, the matter is still there. We're going to go there. But you see, it's important that we must understand that these are adults who orchestrated this. And the reason why, one of the reasons why it was important for them to have done that orchestration, hang in there, because of the precedence of our society in this kind of cases, where a little girl never gets justice.
Yes.
It's always your word against mine. So in that situation, if you're in a, well, I'll let you speak. If you're in a country where when a child speaks, the entire system works for that child to make sure that girl gets justice. But unfortunately, we are still work in progress as a nation. We're not there yet. So the only way, and I hear you very well, because you're saying that if my daughter was in that situation, will I orchestrate that again to let my daughter go through that pain? Again. I get that. And it's debatable. But you must also understand the adults in the room. Say, listen, the only way we can catch this man is if we orchestrate this thing so they can catch him in the act. We will not let him go far, but he must be seen trying to do what he shouldn't be doing so he can go to jail. Okay, now, first thing that I would have expected mothers to do, I noted it. You were not concerned about the life of a minor, number one, if truly she's 14. Number two, if the testimony were to be true, the complainant said, my girl told somebody. You are not asking, why is a person first told not even talking? And secondly, you are not concerned about parental negligence. If truly a 7-year-old is defiled in my house, not that the girl is living with the person, is living with me, somebody came to visit me for just 40 minutes, and you defile a 7-year-old who has not been defiled before, and you're telling the whole world that the girl is not sick, no evidence of pump shaking, I didn't take her to hospital, no multiple tears, anything that she level here, feel. Why would somebody tell us that story, and then you claim that you were there, that I was there that day, but I didn't notice anything? So the man did it. If it is a word of the mouth, he who asserts must prove. I am not saying children are meant to be catered for. They're meant to be cared for. Nobody should mess up with children. Okay, I have fought for children. I have fought for all these things. More than. You have a summit now. I spent millions organizing a human rights summit. How would I be so stupid and say, I want to stand by a rapist?
Okay,
we're looking for justice.
Are we moving on?
Let's switch.
I wanted to just...
No, because it is very, very personal.
It's a sensitive matter.
You know the statistics of people that have been molested as women. The number of people that have been molested
have been
silent. Because what I said on the show today, I never told my own parents about it because they know the person.
What you are now asking us to do is to still going back into backwardness. You want this country, it's like we're in a work in progress, but immediately you stuck into the old ways. Jungle justice, fire by ordeal, torture, organized crime. How do we differentiate the truth? I am fighting against police that don't use torture as a means of investigation.
So what I'm hearing you say now,
a civilian to do that.
What I'm hearing you say now is the judgment was wrong. You have said that in so many ways.
The defendant is appealing the case. So that means there are so many lacunas. They are seeing loopholes. And it's within his right to appeal.
Okay.
Nobody should
point taken.
infringe on his rights.
Let's discuss...
let's move forward as a nation. Not all this sentiment.
Another allegation.
Blah, blah, blah.